Here's the truth. Ads don't actually make you money. What they do is show you what's already working or what's not working. If your funnel is strong, ads will help you scale faster. But if your funnel has cracks, ads will shine a big fat spotlight on them really quickly. And that's why ads can feel so risky. But the good news is, once you understand the recipe, ads stop feeling like gambling, and it starts becoming the most predictable part of your business. And that's what we're digging into today. You know that sinking feeling you get when you hit publish on a new ad campaign and there's butterflies in your tummy, you're crossing your fingers and you're just hoping it works? Yeah. Sometimes ads can feel risky, like Vegas risky. But here's the truth. Facebook and Instagram ads do not have to feel like a gamble. When you set them up with the right systems, they can become one of the most predictable, reliable tools in your business. And in today's episode, we're going to break down why ads can sometimes feel so uncertain, what's actually going on behind the scenes, and how to set things up so that instead of throwing spaghetti on the wall, you're building a repeatable machine that brings you leads and buyers on demand. So let's begin by asking, why does ads feel so risky sometimes? For most of us, and I hear this from students all the time, ads feel like a slot machine. One week we're celebrating cheap leads, which if you listen to the previous episode, you'll know, maybe not. And next week, it feels like money's just falling down a big black void. Of course that feels risky. And here's why. Most of us didn't learn online business in one neat, tiny, 3-year university degree. There's no Bachelor of Digital Marketing for course creators. Instead, we pieced it together. We bought one course on email marketing, another one on webinars, and maybe a program on launching, one on sales pages, one on email marketing, one on running ads. And all of them add up eventually, if you keep going, to a big picture understanding of what it means to build a successful online courses business. Every one of those courses delivered what it promised, but none of them connected all the dots for us. We learned how to write emails and how to host a webinar and how to technically set up our ads. But nobody actually ever shows us how all of these pieces fit together in a system that actually produces predictable sales. I remember when I bought my very first ads course. And I think I have probably bought at least more than 10 ads courses. Not recently, not in the last 5 years, but before that, I bought every single ads course I could find. It's kind of, when you're in that phase where you have a little bit of imposter syndrome. When I was just starting creating my own ads course, A-lister, that's going to open soon again, I bought every other online course just to check, just to see. Am I doing it better than they are? Are they teaching something I'm not teaching? Or are they teaching something better than I'm teaching it? I'm glad I'm not in that phase anymore. I have zero imposter syndrome about ads. Anyway, I remember when I bought my first ads course and I was so proud. I was like, yes, finally, I'm going to crack the code to running ads and that's going to be the thing. What I didn't realize at the time, and maybe you felt this way before, is that the technical part of setting up ads, the bit that was so intimidating to me, that's actually the easy bit. The hard part is knowing how to use ads to feed a funnel that converts. The hard part is nurturing the leads that are on your email list consistently. The hard part is turning that attention that you have into sales. And by the time I figured out that funnels, conversion mechanisms was the missing link, I'd already bought a funnels course too. And again, that one was disconnected from other parts of digital marketing. Can you relate to that? You feel like, yeah, that's the journey you've been on too. So if ads feels risky, hear this. It is not your fault. We've all been sold this patchwork of disjointed strategies that never fully links up. And of course, that makes ads feel like gambling. Because without the full system, that's pretty much what you're doing. You're putting money into a machine hoping that you're the winner, but you're not quite sure. So that's, I believe, why ads feel risky. Now let's think about the myth, the big myth, the myth that is the bane of my existence. This is the myth that ads can be a quick fix. Too many course creators treat ads like they're magic beans. You plant them, you water them with your credit card, and you wait for that instant tree to sprout. But that's not the reality. Ads are not magic beans. They are amplifiers. Think of an ad as a fire hose. It's just gonna spray more water through whatever river you've already laid down. Ads are amplifiers. They magnify what's already working, and then we call it growing and scaling, but they also magnify what's broken. And then we call it, well, ads just don't really work for my business. If your offer isn't clear, if your emails are confusing, if your landing page looks like it was designed in 2009, or it's confusing, or the message isn't clear, ads will put a spotlight on it. Instead of creating more sales, they'll just create more proof that something's not working. So where does this myth come from? Who perpetuates this myth? Let's blame someone. I am feeling spicy today. I want to blame someone. I have to put myself in the shoes of the people we blame. But I'm not the only one. It comes from the way that ads managers and people who sell ads courses and people who promote paid ads as a service and people who have agencies like mine, it comes from the way they market that service. And think about it. Here's why. Let's give them some grace. If you're selling an ads course or you're running an agency, what is the easiest way to grab attention on social media? You tell a big money story, right? A wishy-washy, fully explained with many asterisks, is that a word? And disclaimers about all the other things that also went into these funnels is not sexy. But a hook that says, we spent 10K on ads and made 100K back, now you got my attention. Now that reel's going to get seen by a lot of people. Or a copy on a video that says, this student turned $500 into a 6-figure launch. That's a good one. That's going to get some views and maybe a couple of likes. And those headlines are everywhere and they work. And for people who are vulnerable, people who are looking for a quick fix, people who are desperate, people who are trying to save their businesses, people who buy into the lie that all they need is more eyeballs, that myth becomes something they easily grab onto, and they fall in the trap of pouring a lot of money into ads that don't end up making the money. And they walk away feeling like it's a big gamble. But here's the catch-22. Yes, ads can get you in front of a lot more people very quickly. But if the people who already know, like, and trust you aren't buying, then the solution isn't to drive strangers into that same broken system. Running more ads won't fix it. It will just magnify the problem. And let's be real. This is why so many of us feel nervous about ads. You've probably had the thought, what if I put money into this and nothing comes back out? That fear makes total sense because you've been told that ads are a shortcut. Ads are the missing link. But no one explained that ads only work when the foundation is solid. No one is going to sell a course by saying, hey, you can buy my program to learn ads, but just know you'll still have to fix your funnel before you make any money. Ha ha ha. That's not going to stop the scroll. Hey, quick question. Do you have a course that's already working? Like you've made 5K, 10K, maybe even 50K in a launch, and you know your offer is solid. But here's the problem. Your organic reach has tanked. You've tapped out your warm audience and you're stuck on this unpredictable launch-to-launch roller coaster. You know you need ads to reach new people and create consistent revenue, but you're terrified of wasting money. Maybe you already tried ads and got burned. I get it. I've been there. And that's why I'm hosting a free live training called The 3 Reasons Your Ads Failed Before and How to Fix Them This Time. I'm pulling back the curtain on what we've learned spending nearly $7 million on ads specifically for course creators. Not e-commerce, not local business, course creators. I'll show you why your ads attracted clicks but not buyers, the hidden funnel leaks that kill your conversions, and the 5 metrics that actually matter when you're selling online courses. Head to thelaunchlounge.com/free class to grab your spot now. There are 2 sessions to choose from, but seats are very limited. Again, that's thelaunchlounge.com/free class. I'll see you there. So instead, the myth of ads as a quick fix gets reinforced again and again until it feels true. But I want you to hear me on this. Ads don't fix broken funnels. Ads don't fix unclear offers. Ads don't fix inconsistent nurture. What they do is they amplify. And when you treat them like a system instead of a shortcut, that's when they finally become predictable. And by the way, if this is hitting home for you, I would really love it if you hit follow and subscribe right now, because throughout October, I'm doing a whole series on ads and I'm pulling back the curtain on what actually makes ads work, how to stop wasting money and how to finally make them predictable in your business. So don't miss the rest of the series. Make sure you're subscribed so that it just drops right into your podcast app every week. So that is the myth of ads as a quick fix. The next thing I want to talk about and why ads feel risky sometimes is creating a path to predictability. Now we've covered the problem with this extensively already in the last 10 minutes, but here's the good news. Ads don't have to feel like gambling. They become predictable when we stop treating them like a magic trick and start treating them like a system that is part of other systems in our business. So let me give you a real life example. I am the worst cook. I think partly because I hate grocery shopping. I just hate it. ADHD and all, executive functioning and noise overstimulation. Just hate it. Number 2 is probably because I don't think about food until I'm hungry and then I want to eat now, which I understand other people are not like that. Luckily, I'm married to someone who's not like that and he loves to cook and my kids love to bake. So there it is. But I don't like baking either. But my cousin has this chocolate cake recipe. My cousin is the best baker that she swears is foolproof. And by foolproof, she means fool as in me. She's made this chocolate cake 1,000,000 times and my 14-year-old has made it a few times and it comes out perfect for them every time. So she sent me the recipe and I tried it. Same ingredients, same instructions, but when I make it, it's just not the same. It is just not the same. And I know it's probably my ADHD. I'm bored. I'm not following the steps accurately. I'm not paying close enough attention to how many mils of this and how many ounces of that and mixing it in the wrong order and eyeballing measurements and, it'll be all right. And then it comes out and it's not all right. Same stuff goes out in a little bit of different order or a little bit of different quantities, but the result is completely different. Ads is like that chocolate cake. You can have all the right ingredients, great offer, emails, landing page, ad copy, but if you don't put it together in the right way and in the right order with the right measurements, you won't get the same outcome. And that's why ads can feel risky when we're just throwing ingredients together, trying stuff and trying to prove the stuff that we are trying using ads instead of using our energy. But once you know the recipe, once you follow the system, you can predict the outcome. So what's the recipe for ads? There are 3 big ingredients. Number 1 is know your numbers. 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 You cannot scale what you don't know is working or not working. If you want growth in your business, you got to be recording the numbers. I cannot overemphasize this. And I talk to so many people and I ask them, how's your funnel performing? Are you tracking the data? And they're like, kinda. No spreadsheets anywhere. Get your spreadsheets in place. The numbers you need to know is, at the very least, your cost per lead, your landing page conversion rate, your sales conversion rate. And they're like the little measurements for the recipe, right? You got to kind of have an idea of what's enough. If you don't know what a good cost per lead for you is, and suddenly your cost per lead doubles, you don't know what your sales conversion rate is, but your lead cost doubles, are you still going to make sales at the end of that? You've got to know your numbers. Number 2, separate list building from selling. If you want to make money online, build your list. You cannot expect one campaign during your live launch to do it for you. First, run ads to build your list. Those are risk-free, completely risk-free. List building ads is not a gamble because you're paying for an asset that you own. Then nurture those people with content and connection before you make the offer. It's like preheating the oven. You got to warm things up before you bake. And the 3rd ingredient is rinse and repeat testing. You can't just set your ads and forget it. They're more like a recipe you refine over time. Every time you tweak something, you make it better. You track, you tweak, more consistent, more predictable, more consistent, more predictable. When we treat ads like a recipe instead of a gamble, the stress starts to disappear. And then we stop asking, is this even going to work? I don't know. And instead we know, here's exactly what to expect. So that is the path to predictable results with ads. Now you might be wondering, why should I be paying attention to any of this? Why does this matter to me? But here's the thing. Ads are never just about ads. They're about the entire system in your business. They just reveal what you haven't been tracking or what you haven't been paying attention to. If ads feel unpredictable, it's usually because we're asking them to carry too much weight in our business. We expect them to fix our funnel or to save our launch or to make up for a weak offer. But ads don't fix, they reveal. And that's why this matters. If the people who already know, like, and trust you aren't buying your course, sending in strangers from an ad won't magically change that. What we need instead is a system that builds trust, that nurtures consistently, and that actually converts, and we know that it converts. Then and only then will ads become the fuel to scale your business. This is one of the main reasons I recorded episode 312, the one called From Ad to Dollars in the Bank, Funnels Demystified. If you haven't listened to that one yet, pop back into it when we're done here, because what we're talking about today making ads predictable, fits hand in hand with that episode. You'll have so many light bulb moments when you connect the two. Remember, ads aren't a silo. They're one dial on the dashboard of your business. And when you know how all the dials work together, ads, funnels, emails, launches, that's when you stop feeling like you're guessing and you start feeling like you're really steering the wheel. And so here's what I want you to remember today. Ads only feel risky when we're running them on hope, but we're not here to gamble. We're here to build freedom empires. And we know our numbers. We trust our systems. Then ads become the most predictable part of our business. So imagine waking up and knowing your list is growing every single day. Knowing that your launch is filling with warm leads. That you're not at the mercy of the algorithm. That you are in control. Because we are the kind of entrepreneurs who build predictability into our businesses. We're not waiting for luck. We're creating results on purpose. And our ads, they're just one more dial we get to turn up when we're ready to scale. And here's the best part. Once you start treating ads like a system instead of a gamble, the same predictability shows up everywhere else in your business. You start tracking your launches, your sales, your growth. You start managing it. So as you move forward, keep asking yourself, where else can I take the guesswork out and build something I can count on? Because that is the path to freedom. If you loved today's episode, make sure you hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming up next. On Thursday, October the 16th, I'm dropping episode 316. Stop fearing tech. How to take back control now. If tech has ever made you want to pull out your hair, you don't want to miss this one. See you then. Bye. Before you go, I want to invite you to something really special. If you've been listening to this podcast for a while, you already know I'm obsessed with helping course creators use ads to scale. And if you have a course that's already making money, even if it's just a few $1,000s, but you can't figure out how to predictably grow it, this training is for you. I'm hosting a free masterclass called The 3 Reasons Your Ads Failed Before and How to Fix Them This Time. And here's what we're covering. First, why your ads attracted clicks but not buyers, and the audience temperature shifts that turn strangers into ready-to-purchase students without spending more on changing your offer. Second, the hidden funnel leaks that kill cold traffic conversions. I'll show you the 3 places most course creators lose 70% of their leads and the simple fixes that plug them before you waste another dollar. And third, why traditional ad strategies destroy course sales and the 5 metrics that actually matter when you're selling online courses. This isn't theory. This is what we've learned managing $6.96 million in ad spend for course creators just like you. Whether you've never run ads before or you tried them and lost some money, this training will save you from making expensive mistakes and show you the exact framework that works. We have 2 sessions to choose from, so head to thelaunchlounge.com/free class right now and save your spot. I can't wait to see you there.